Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Blaine and today we're going to be talking about something that's been making me think for quite some time. There are a lot of iconic Pokemon characters throughout the series and a lot of them use specific Pokemon on a regular basis, if that be gym leaders, Elite Four members, evil team leaders, or other characters. In this video I'm going to be examining these characters from the Kanto region to see what their signature Pokemon is. We will be doing this by examining their Ace Pokémon, or their highest level Pokemon from each main series and Pokemon Masters appearances, to figure out who their signature Pokemon is. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more Pokemon content and other content on a regular basis. Of course, I will be adding some rules for this just so I don't get comments about not including characters like Youngster Joey. Each character needs to have a special character model. This way I know that they are specialized characters. Must have no more than 3 Pokemon at the same highest level. So this really won't come into effect super frequently now, but there are a few trainers that have a set team of all Pokemon at level 60, and this makes it a little bit difficult to see large Ace Pokemon patterns. The final rule is that I will only be using the last battle before the champion battle, and then any rematches after the battle. That way I'm not mentioning all of the rivals teams for every single battle that you fight them through. They also need to make their first appearance in the games the region takes place in. So sadly, even though Janine appears in Kanto, her first appearance isn't until Gold, Silver, and Crystal, so she's not going to be included in this video. Now, within the Kanto region, we have a fine assortment of trainers that I have included here. These trainers are gym leaders, Elite Four members, champions, rivals, and of course, Team Rocket members. The first trainer that we fight in our Kanto journey is the rock-hard gym leader of Pewter City, Brock. His first game appearance is in Red, Blue, and Green, where his strongest Pokemon is Onix, who surprisingly has no Rock-type moves. In Pokemon Yellow, his strongest Pokemon is once again an Onix. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he along with the other Kanto gym leaders are fought as part of the post-game. In these games, Brock's strongest Pokemon is once again his Onix. He does appear in the Generation 1 remakes of Fire Red and Leaf Green, where his strongest Pokemon is, once again, an Onix. In the Generation 2 remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, he is fought twice in the post-game, where in his initial battle as a gym leader, his ace Pokemon is once again an Onix. Then he is fought in the Fighting Dojo, where his ace Pokemon is, again, an Onix. He can be fought in the Pokemon World Tournament in 2 separate formats. I do want to touch just real quick on the Pokemon World Tournament, as technically speaking they start with the same Pokemon each time, which is believed to be their ace Pokemon, which is why I'm sharing it here. In the Kanto Leaders Tournament, Brock will always lead with an Onix. Then in the Type Experts or World Leaders Tournament, he will always lead with an Onix as well. In his last main series appearance, which is Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, he is fought twice, where in his initial gym leader battle, his strongest Pokemon is an Onix. However, in the rematch battle, his Onix is now replaced with a Golem as his strongest Pokemon. Now, I believe this is due just to an underleveled Onix not having quite the same stats as a fully evolved Golem, so take that with a grain of salt, but I am also going to touch base real quick on just Pokemon Masters and the sync pairs that Brock has in that game, since they are believed to have a strong bond with their trainer. Brock's initial sync pair is with an Onix, and then further along in the story you unlock his Signa sync pair, which is with a Tyranitar. Now, given all of these battles, it's pretty safe to assume that his signature Pokemon is going to be the Rock Snake Pokemon, Onix. The second trainer that we fight on our journey will be the tomboyish mermaid Misty, the gym leader of the Cerulean City Gym. Her first in-game appearance is in Red, Blue, and Green, where her strongest Pokemon is her Starmie. Then in the Pokemon Yellow game, her Starmie returns as her ace Pokemon. Like Brock, she is fought in the post-game of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, where her strongest Pokemon is, again, her Starmie. She is then fought in the Fire Red and Leaf Green remake, where her strongest Pokemon is, again, Starmie. Then she is fought in the Johto remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where her strongest Pokemon is, again, her Starmie. However, in her Fighting Dojo rematch, her strongest Pokemon is now a tie between Starmie and Milotic. Weird, right? Just like Brock, she does appear in the Pokemon World Tournament in Black 2 and White 2 in several different tournament styles. In her Kanto Gym Leaders Tournament, she will always lead with her Starmie. Then in the Type Expert and World Leaders Tournament, she will lead with a Starmie as well. Unlike Brock though, Misty also appears in an additional tournament called Gathered, Gym Leader, but she continues to use her Starmie. Her last main series appearance is in the Let's Go games, where her strongest Pokemon is once again her Starmie, but then in her rematch, this is now replaced with a Gyarados. Misty also does a few sync pairs from Pokemon Masters to discuss. In her first pair, this is of course with her Starmie. However, in her swimsuit outfit, she is now paired with a Psyduck, which is a nice call to the anime. And then finally, in her Signa suit, she is paired with a Vaporeon. With all of these appearances, I can safely say that Misty is seeing stars, and her signature Pokemon is, of course, her Starmie. Now this is where things begin to vary from game to game. The Lightning Lieutenant is next, and of course I'm talking about Lieutenant Surge. He's appeared in a lot of games, so let's get started with his red, blue, and green appearance where his ace is his Raichu. Next, he appears in Pokemon Yellow, but this time his only Pokemon is his Raichu. Interestingly enough, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, his ace is now his Electabuzz when he's battled in the post-game. Similarly to his red, blue, and green appearance, his strongest Pokemon is his Raichu in Fire Red and Leaf Green. In his initial post-game fight in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his ace is now his Electabuzz again, but then in the rematch he returns to his Raichu. His appearance in Black 2 and White 2, where he will always start with a Raichu in both the Kanto Leaders Tournament and the Type Expert World Leaders Tournaments. Unlike his yellow appearance, Surge is back with 3 Pokemon in his Let's Go initial battle, where his strongest Pokemon is his Raichu. In the post-game rematch, this Raichu continues to be his ace Pokemon. His initial sync pair in Pokemon Masters is with the Voltorb, but you are eventually able to evolve it into an Electrode later on. You are able to unlock the sync pair for a Raichu with BP later on in the game as well. So, this one is a little bit more unclear, however, with all Lieutenant Surge's aces, it's undoubtedly his Raichu that is his signature Pokemon. I think that the fact that it's his sole Pokemon in Pokemon Yellow should speak volumes to that. After this, we travel to the Celadon City, where we meet the nature-loving princess, Erika, the Grass-type gym leader. Now, her ace Pokemon is interesting because for most of her in-game appearances, she actually has 2 aces. In Red, Blue, and Green, her 2 aces are Victory Bell and Vileplume. Weirdly enough, in Pokemon Yellow, her aces are now the under-evolved forms of those 2 Pokemon, both being Weeping Bell and Gloom, but at a higher level. Once again, she has 2 Pokemon tied for the highest level in Gold, Silver, and Crystal of Victory Bell, and this time the other side of the Oddish line, Blossom. She does mirror her Red, Blue, and Green team in Fire Red and Leaf Green, where her highest level Pokemon are Victory Bell and Vileplume. Then she mirrors her Gold, Silver, and Crystal team in Heart Gold and Soul Silver in her initial post-game battle, where her strongest Pokemon are again Victory Bell and Blossom. However, in her Fighting Dojo rematch, her strongest Pokemon is now Tangrowth. Weird, right? So just looking at what we know now, it does seem pretty obvious who her signature Pokemon is, but stay tuned. In Black 2 and White 2, she will always lead with her Vileplume in her Kanto Leaders Tournament team and again in her Type Expert World Leaders Tournament. However, she does appear in the Challenge the Champion Lance Tournament, where she will always lead with a Whimsicott. Unlike her yellow team, her initial battle in Let's Go, her strongest Pokemon is now her Vileplume. Then in her rematch for Let's Go, her Vileplume once again reigns supreme on her team. In Pokemon Masters, Erika does have 4 sync pairs. Her initial sync pair partner is with her Vileplume. Her second sync pair which can be purchased with BP, is a Tangela. Her third sync pair is from the Holiday 2020 event, which is a Comfey. And then finally, her last sync pair is with a Signasuit, which is paired with a Leafeon. Now, with all of this information, it is pretty obvious it is her Vileplume, which I think is fantastic. After Erika, we head to Fuchsia City, where we meet the poisonous ninja master, Koga. Koga is interesting because he is the first character to have 2 different roles, being a gym leader in Generations 1, 3, and 7, but being an Elite 4 member in Generations 2 and 4. Because of this difference, he uses a few different Pokemon for his ace. In Red, Blue, and Green, his strongest Pokemon is his Weezing. Then in Pokemon Yellow, his strongest Pokemon is a Venomoth. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he does appear as the Elite 4 member, where his ace is now a Crobat. This is the most diversity that we have seen so far from a character. His aces in Fire Red and Leaf Green is, again, his Weezing, exactly like that Red, Blue, and Green appearance. In his initial Elite 4 battles in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his ace is his Crobat, who returns as his ace in the rematch battle as well. Koga does not appear in the Pokemon World Tournament and is actually one of only 2 characters to have held this title of Gym Leader who is not going to be here, the other being Iris. It is assumed that this is because they now hold higher titles, being both Elite 4 and Champion. His next in-game appearance is going to be in the Let's Go games, where his ace is once again his Venomoth. However, in the rematch, it's now replaced with a Muk, another Pokemon. Finally, he does appear in Pokemon Masters, where his one and only sync pair is with his Crobat. This is a little bit more unclear, however, I'm going to say that Crobat wins this battle for his signature Pokemon. This ninja is a baddie for his Crobat. The Master of Psychic-type Pokemon is next, Sabrina of Saffron City. In her red, blue, and green appearance, her ace is her powerful Alakazam. Interestingly, in Pokemon Yellow, she has 3 Pokemon all tied for the highest level of 50, and that is an Abra, a Kadabra, and an Alakazam. Now, a level 50 Abra, who knows Flash, would be a horrible Pokemon to level up. She is talented. Her next appearance in the main series is in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, where her strongest Pokemon is an Alakazam. Her appearance in Fire Red and Leaf Green, she does return with her ace being an Alakazam. In her initial Heart Gold and Soul Silver battle, she now has another Alakazam, and in her rematch, she uses an Alakazam as her ace again. She can appear in several different tournaments in Black 2 and White 2, where in the Kanto Leaders Tournament, her lead Pokemon will always be her Alakazam. And in her Type Experts World Leaders Tournament, she will, again, always lead with an Alakazam. However, she also appears in a special tournament called the Battle Between Legendary Pokemon, which is epic. Her lead in this tournament will always be a Mewtwo, which is a medal. Now, I'm not going to include any Pokestar Studio battles because it's assumed that these are all rental Pokemon, and she uses a door to fight. In her initial Let's Go battle, her strongest Pokemon is, again, her Zam, where it returns in the rematch as well. She does appear in Pokemon Masters, where her initial partner is going to be her Alakazam, and then in her New Year 2020 outfit, she's partnered with the Chingling. It's pretty safe to assume that her ace is going to be her Sabrina. What? It's going to be her Alakazam. The hot-headed quizmaster of Cinnabar Island is next. Blaine, ooh, rhymes with Lane, is an interesting case actually, because he does change his Pokemon a decent bit. His initial appearance was in Red, Blue, and Green, where his strongest Pokemon was his Arcanine. His Arcanine does return in Pokemon Yellow as his strongest Pokemon. In his post-game appearance of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, his ace Pokemon is his Rapidash this time. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, he does appear again with his Arcanine, again winning Supreme. Similarly to his Gold, Silver, and Crystal appearance, in his initial battle in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, he does appear with a Rapidash, but in the Fighting Dojo, he now has a Magmortar, which seems to have come out of nowhere. He does make a return in Black 2 and White 2, where he leads with an Arcanine in both the Kanto Leaders Tournament and also in the World Leaders Type Experts teams. His final mainline appearance is in the Let's Go games, where his ace Pokemon is his Arcanine. In the post-game rematch team, it's once again an Arcanine. He does appear in Pokemon Masters, where his sync pair is now with a Rapidash. So this one is a little bit more unclear, however, I feel that Blaine's ace, or his signature Pokemon, is definitely his Arcanine. The boss of Team Rocket and 8th gym leader of the Kanto games is next, Giovanni. Gio is an interesting character because he does appear with both of these titles throughout the game, so I thought it necessary to identify his signature Pokemon as both. He has 2 appearances in Red, Blue, and Green, where as Rocket Boss, his ace is his Nidoqueen. Then his next appearance, of course, will be as Gym Leader, where his ace is now his Rhydon. Similarly to his Red, Blue, and Green appearances in Pokemon Yellow, his Rocket Boss team has his ace being his Nidoqueen. He has 2 Pokemon at level 55 in his gym battle though, being both a Rhydon and now a Nidoking. His appearance in Fire Red and Leaf Green shows him using a Nidoqueen in his Rocket Boss fight, where this time in the gym leader fight they gave him an unevolved Rhyhorn. They did him so dirty. He does not appear in Heart Gold, Soul Silver under normal circumstances, but if you have the event Celebi and travel back in time to fight him at Tojo Falls, he does have the title of Rocket Boss again, so I'm gonna include it. His strongest Pokemon in this fight is his level 46 Nidoqueen. He does appear in the Black 2, White 2 Pokemon World Tournament, where he does compete in a few different tournaments. In his Kanto Leaders Tournament, he will always lead with his newly evolved Rhyperior. In the World Leaders Type Experts Tournament, he will lead again with his Rhyperior. He does appear in the Ultra Games next as the leader of Team Rainbow Rocket. His teams vary slightly depending on the games that he's in though. In Ultra Sun, his ace is his Mewtwo, capable of evolving into Mega Mewtwo X. In Ultra Moon, his ace is again Mewtwo, but this time it's capable of Mega evolving into Mega Mewtwo Y. In his final main series game, he does appear in the Let's Go games. As the Rocket boss, he actually has a three-way tie, being a Persian, Rhyhorn, and a Nidoqueen. In his final appearance as gym leader, he does use a Rhydon. His Pokemon Master Sync pairs have him using an overly powered Mewtwo, and also him pairing with a Nidoking. So by analyzing both, we can see as Rocket Boss, he most frequently uses his Nidoqueen as his ace, and then as Gym Leader, he uses a member of the Rhyperior line as the most frequent. We have made it through all 8 Gym Leaders and have made it to the Ice-type Master Lorelai at the Seppi Islands. In her first appearance in Red, Blue, and Green, she actually has 2 aces, a Lapras and a Jinx. I had always thought that her strongest Pokemon was only Lapras, so it was really interesting to learn this. She returns in Pokemon Yellow, where again her 2 aces are a Jinx and a Lapras. Lorelai is the first character to not appear in the sequel games of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, with her next appearance being in Fire Red and Leaf Green. In her initial battle here, her 2 strongest Pokemon are once again Jinx and Lapras. In her rematch, it is now the same Jinx and Lapras. Her last main series appearance is in the Let's Go games, where in her initial battle, she actually uses a Lapras as her strongest Pokemon. In her rematch, it's still the Lapras. In Pokemon Masters, she uses a Lapras as her sync pair partner as well. It is safe to assume that through all these appearances, her signature Pokemon is that Lapras. Jinx was really close to making it, but the Let's Go games kind of cemented that for her. Next up in the Elite Four, we have the Fighting-type Master, Bruno. Bruno appears in a lot of games, starting with Red, Blue, and Green, where his ace Pokemon is his Machamp. In Pokemon Yellow, he appears again, once with his Machamp being his strongest Pokemon. In Gold, Silver, and Crystal, he again returns as part of the Elite Four, but this time as part of the Johto Elite Four, where his strongest Pokemon is a slightly weaker Machamp. He once again reprises his role as a Kanto Elite Four member in Fire Red, Leaf Green, where his ace in his initial battle is his Machamp. In the rematch, it is once again a Machamp. Similarly to Gold, Silver, and Crystal, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, his ace is again a Machamp. In the rematch, his 2 aces are a Machamp and a Lucario. In the Let's Go games, Bruno uses a Machamp in his initial battle, and then he uses the Machamp for the rematch as well. Lastly, his sync pair in Pokemon Masters includes you guessed it, Machamp. I mean, look at this dude. He's practically a Machamp with only 2 arms. I'm not surprised by this at all. Next up, we have Agatha, the Ghost-type Master of the Kanto Elite Four, who, much like Lorelai, only appears in the Kanto-focused games. In her Red, Blue, and Green battle, her ace is her Gengar. In Pokemon Yellow, her ace is her Gengar again. In her next main series appearance in Fire Red, Leaf Green, where her initial battle happens, it is, again, Gengar. In her rematch, it is now a level 70 Gengar. In her final appearance in the main series, it is once again Gengar in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and then in her rematch, it's Gengar again. In her Pokemon Masters appearance, she, of course, gets her sync pair partner as Gengar. So there's not a single Agatha appearance in the main series where she does not use her Gengar, so it's fairly safe to assume that this is, in fact, her signature Pokemon. The final Kanto Elite Four member and Johto champion, Lance, the Dragon-type Master. He has a lot of in-game appearances, so let's get started. In Red, Blue, and Green, his ace is, of course, his terrifying Dragonite. Talk about a freaking challenge in those early gens. Once again in Pokemon Yellow, his strongest Pokemon is going to be that Dragonite. As champion in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, his ace Pokemon is now an under-leveled Dragonite, which is illegal, sir. He appears next in Fire Red and Leaf Green, where he is an Elite Four member again, but then in this initial battle, his signature Pokemon, or his ace Pokemon, is going to be that Dragonite. In his post-game rematch, his Dragonite is now at the disgusting level of 72. Gosh. In that Heart Gold and Soul Silver battle, he is back again as champion. In his initial battle with you, his ace is going to be another under-leveled Dragonite. Strike 2, Lance. In his post-game rematch team, he once again uses a Dragonite. His final Heart Gold and Soul Silver appearance is actually a multi-battle with Claire in the Dragon's Den, where he once again uses that Dragonite. Lance's next in-game appearance is going to be in Black 2 and White 2, where he is fought in the Champions Tournament, where he will always lead with his Dragonite. There is another event in the game that is centered around Lance, where he will once again always lead with that Dragonite. His final in-game appearance is in the Let's Go games, where, of course, he will lead with his almost under-level Dragonite, which, Lance, you are cutting it close with that third strike, buddy. In his rematch, his Dragonite is now perfectly fine, but it is his signature it is his ace Pokemon. In the Pokemon Masters appearances, he comes in with his initial sync pair being Dragonite. He also has an alternate pair for the 2021 New Year's event where he is paired with a Gyarados. So it's pretty obvious that his signature Pokemon is that beloved Dragonite. Alright, from here on out, the lists are going to be getting a little bit shorter. We have the Let's Go champion, Trace of Pallet Town next. Like I said, I'm not going to be covering every single battle that you have with rivals because that's a little bit redundant. In the first battle we're going to talk about, which is the champion battle at the end of Let's Go, he will use the opposite starter that you have. So in Let's Go Pikachu, his ace is going to be a Jolteon, and Let's Go Eevee, he's going to be using a Raichu. In the rematches, he uses a Jolteon again in Let's Go Pikachu, and then a Raichu in Let's Go Eevee. With these being alternate starters for the game, I think that this is a perfect fit for Trace. Alright, next up we have the OG rival and champion of the Kanto League, Blue. In Red, Blue, and Green, Blue's champion Ace is going to be his starter Pokemon, so either Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur. Of course, it's going to be the one that has the type advantage to yours. In Pokemon Yellow, he will once again have one of the final forms of the starter Pokemon, this time being an evolution, so Jolteon, Vaporeon, or Flareon depending on some in-game events. In his Gold, Silver, and Crystal Gym battle, he will have a Gyarados, Exeggutor, or Arcanine all tied for his strongest Pokemon. He next appears in the Gen 1 remakes Fire Red, Leaf Green, where he's once again the final battle, or the champion, where his ace is once again going to be his starter Pokemon, who is Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur. Fun enough, he's actually able to be rematched in this game, where the starter Pokemon, so Charizard, Blastoise, or Venusaur, is going to be now at level 75. He again can be battled in the Gen 2 remakes, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where his ace is now a Pidgeot. And then in the Fighting Dojo rematch, it's again going to be Pidgeot as his ace. He next appears in Black 2 and White 2, where he's fought in the Champions Tournament, where he will always lead with an Aerodactyl. His next in-game appearance is in Gen 7, where he is battleable in front of the Battle Tree. However, in both Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon games, his entire team of 6 is either set to level 65 in Sun or Moon or 69 in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and like in my rules, I'm only going to go up to a max of 3 Pokemon tied for the highest. So I will not be looking into the Battle Dream teams either, since none of them are set and they can rotate in and out new Pokemon as they wish. His final in-game appearance is going to be in the Let's Go games, where he uses a Charizard that is capable of Mega Evolution into Mega Charizard Y. Blue has several sync pair teams in Pokemon Masters. And his initial one, it's with a Pidgeot, and then in his Cygnus sync pair, it is now with a Blastoise. He has a classic outfit pair where he uses an Aerodactyl, and then finally, he has a sync pair with an Arcanine. So for Blue, it's a little fuzzy. Unclear answer is signature Pokemon would be a starter Pokemon as rival champion, and as a gym leader it would be a Pidgeot. Next we have the man, the myth, the color, Red. He actually is not battled anywhere in Generation 1 due to him being the protagonist of these games, but his first battle is deep in Mount Silver and Gold, Silver, and Crystal, where he is initially fought. His ace Pokemon in this fight, of course, is going to be that Pikachu. He has not fought again until the Generation 2 remakes Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where his ace is again his Pikachu. His next appearance is in Black 2 and White 2, where he is battled in the Champions Tournament. He has a set team where he will always lead with that Pikachu. He appears in Pokemon Sun and Moon next, where his strongest Pokemon is going to be Pikachu. Returning in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, his ace is going to be Pikachu. Similarly to Blue, since his Battle Tree teams are not set, I will not be including them. Red's final appearance in the games are going to be in the Let's Go games, where his whole team is set to level 85, so I can't use this in my decision-making process. Red has 2 sync pairs in Pokemon Masters, one being the Cygnus sync pair with his Charizard, and the other one being in his classic outfit, which he is paired with his Snorlax. Of course, the mythical trainer, near mascot of the series, will have to have Pikachu as his signature Pokemon. Next, we have Green, who sometimes goes by Leaf. Green has only recently started to appear in the games, being the opposite trainer of Red in Fire Red, Leaf Green. Her first and last in-game appearance is going to be in the Let's Go games, where her strongest Pokemon is her Blastoise that's capable of Mega Evolution into Mega Blastoise. As Leaf, she does appear in Pokemon Masters, where she has 2 different sync pairs. She pairs with an Eevee in her regular sync pair, but then in her Cygnus sync pair, it is paired with a Venusaur. It's hard to place her due to her limited appearances throughout the series, but her signature Pokemon is always going to be a starter Pokemon, so I think any of these really fit, but it's super vague, so, you know, do what you want, but... The next character I'm going to cover is one that's never fought through normal gameplay. We have Professor Oak of the Kanto region. He is, like I said, never officially battled in the game. However, he does have a set team that can be battled if you do perform the Ditto glitch in Generation 1, implying he was meant to be fought at some point. In this battle, it doesn't matter which starter you have, his strongest Pokemon is always going to be a Gyarados at level 70. He does also appear in Pokemon Masters where he's paired with the mythical Pokemon Mew. I feel like throwing out Pokemon Masters here and going with Gyarados as Oak's signature Pokemon just because I feel like they did that just for lore to make him feel like a bigger and powerful trainer. So I think Gyarados is a better fit here. Next up, we have the Goons of Team Rocket, where they're the three core members, being Jesse, James, and Meowth. In Pokemon Yellow, there was no such thing as double battles, so in this game they battled together. They used a Weezing, an Arbok, and finally Meowth. Their next appearances in the Let's Go games were in their final battle, Jesse uses an Arbok, James uses a Weezing. They both appear in Pokemon Masters, so they again use Arbok and Weezing respectively. So Jesse's signature Pokemon is going to be Arbok, while James is going to be Weezing. But Team Rocket as a whole, I'd say that their signature Pokemon is going to be Meowth. Alright friends, so with that, we went ahead and decided the signature Pokemon of all the important characters from the Kanto region. So if you did enjoy this, please do not hesitate to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content on a regular basis. I would love to hear feedback on this series if you guys liked it, if you didn't. And yeah, from there, I will see you guys in the next one.